Welcome to Walk-Ons, man. We have exciting coverage for you today. We have the Liberty Eylau softball and baseball team. A few of the players are coming. We also have Lexi Snyder, who had a huge weekend in the Marshall tournament. Took MVP.
A huge 10 days. I think she hit about 6 home runs and as 21 RBI.
Four in one weekend, didn't she?
Yeah, one of them was a grand slam, I think. There was a bunch of girls that had a big weekend. They had the McDonald tournament over in New Boston. I know some girls from Paul Pewitt. I think they had 2 girls hit 4 home runs in that tournament.
Coach downplayed them last week.
Did they really? But anyway, we got Jay Davis down here on the end, my buddy Frank Sides. I'm Morgan Smith, Brian Bolt, and the 4th best roofer in our area, Tony Langford. He's moving to 5th spot pretty quick here in my book, though. He better hope I don't come out with a best of. Been trying to get a quote on my roof for a month.
Now he's exaggerating. It's like 4 days.
Anyways, guys, hey, I got some news. Tatum is going to the state championship game in basketball.
I'm not
you already
shocked.
knew that? Everybody already knew that? All right.
I am surprised by it, though. I was surprised Atlanta got knocked out.
Well, the team that Dallas Madison, I wasn't there. He can probably tell you more about it. But they had, 2 D1 guards?
They did. I broadcast that Tatum game, and that defense, it's 5 on, 5 off, full court press the whole game. They are causing huge issues. And the guy that I talked to from Tatum said these kids have been playing together since they were 8 years old, and they've just perfected this all along the way. You can't score on them.
Well, they're lucky none of their kids transferred to Carthage. Football joke, if you're watching. Brian Bolt didn't laugh. So has professional baseball started? Because you know your boy doesn't know.
We're in the spring training right now. We got a few more weeks. They did announce today, moments ago, that the Ranger Stadium will be at full capacity opening day moving forward. Yeah.
Tony, you still get – you always do opening day.
Yeah.
They still owe you money from last year, don't they?
No, I actually used it in the World Series.
All right.
That's what I used all that on the World Series. So
I think Jerry Jones announced that the Cowboy Stadium was going to be the same way. I mean, that they're going to open it up 100% too. So
great.
That's definitely good to hear.
I was pretty upset. The games. I got so mad. I sold my tickets and bought tickets somewhere else because they blocked our view.
Yeah.
And it was a good view.
Yeah.
But
I recorded.
I don't really care to go watch cheerleaders at this point in my life.
I was about to say, yeah.
Well, and so much of my experiences going to Jerry's World is the fact that so many people are there.
Yeah.
And, there are so many different things that you can do besides watch the football game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just such a great venue. And to know that he had to control how many people could go in there, and don't get me wrong, he's not hurting them for any money, I know. But I do think just all the people that it impacted, all the employees that work at the stadium, depended on that for their, friends and family.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I am glad that, we're moving back towards that 100%.
I'm going to tell you, not many of the concession stands are even open. I went to the BYU game in Utah. Man, you couldn't hardly find anything to eat or drink.
Even the game we went to, I think, normally they'll have like 4 of them right there near the pro shop, and I think one of them was open.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep in mind, there wasn't anybody at the game, it didn't feel like. But while we're on top of the Cowboys, what's y'all's opinion about Dak's contract?
Insane. I just can't imagine putting that much money in one person.
So it was 28% of the open cap space they have.
Well, I'll tell you, I like Dak as a person. I think he's a really good kid. I think if they went back to the old school, run the ball first, kind of like the first year they had DeMarco Murray, I think he'd be successful throwing the ball 25, 30 times a game because he's accurate. He don't turn the ball over much. But, there's only 4 or 5 guys in the league that can throw the ball 50, 55 times, and he's not one of them. And that's the kind of offense they're going to run.
What I don't understand about who Dallas chooses to give money to, which I realize you had to give money to Dak. I mean, let's be honest. Whether we like him or not, he's at least a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Is he going to win a Super Bowl? I don't know.
That's the level-headed take, right? He, at worst, is the 10th best in the world at what he does and the only one available for hire.
I don't know.
He had all the leverage.
There's quite a few of them.
There's a few for trade right now.
Yeah, but just money.
He has no trade value. He wasn't under contract. Yeah. Now, if they sign him to trade him, that's a whole different deal. But I just don't understand the thought process behind. I understand you had to pay Zeke, or you were going to lose him.
Well, so they don't use him correctly anyway.
That's my point. So now you have the highest paid. Is it the highest paid quarterback yearly?
Yes.
And by far the highest paid running back.
Yeah.
on the same team, and you drafted a wide receiver in your first round last year. You have 3 great wide receivers, really 4, and where does when Zeke first came out, we were a run-first offense,
and he was a lot better.
And the only time he touches the ball now is like out of the shotgun. It seems like, and it's
Tony Pollard actually fits their system better than him. Now I think Zeke's a better running back.
I think if they would have made a trade with Seattle, Zeke should have went in that trade.
Yeah.
I mean, he serves no purpose in the offense anymore.
I agree.
I mean, people, a big run for him now is 8 yards. I know he can break one, but I bet you, I don't think I saw him break one all last season. The games I was at, the home games.
He didn't break many.
And to me, Zeke is at his best once he gets past that 12th, 13th touch. And so, I mean, you've got
He's lucky to get 15 touches now.
You've got to be able to get him into that 20 range in order, in my opinion, for Dallas to be successful.
Doing the spread offense, all right, let's spread everybody out. We're going to give you a draw play up the middle and out of the shotgun.
Yeah.
It's just not.
That's not Zeke's game at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just line up, come get you some.
Yeah.
And it's just not what they're doing anymore.
Yeah. And it was just a perfect storm for Dak. Everything lined up perfectly for him to be paid the most money in history. It happened that way. He played his cards perfectly. And on the flip side of that, Jerry Jones, his entire life and his persona has been built around, I'm the greatest negotiator ever. Well, this is the first time he's never held all the cards. And he had no choice in the matter, and he negotiated himself from 22 to 40, and he had to bite the bullet at some point, or he was just going to deal with another 1-15 team with no quarterback. So
I'll be honest with you, for me, I would have dealt with that before I paid him and drafted one in the future. That's just me.
Yeah, that's the issue.
I wouldn't have paid him 40.
They're set up to win now. He had no choice.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's either let him walk and you get nothing, or you just go ahead and pay him, rock your season out, and then you can trade him.
They could franchise him one more time, though, couldn't they?
Yeah, but they can't trade him if he's franchise tagged. So let's just say behind closed doors, this Russell Wilson trade may come to fruition. He has to be under contract for that to happen. Because you can't have 2 of them. He's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So what if, just big time what if, Zeke goes for Russell Wilson and a first-round pick. We trade Dak for, I don't know, Christian McCaffrey, something like that. He's not super high paid right now. Their first-round pick.
But
because they're not getting Deshaun Watson.
The biggest issue is that Zeke has zero value, negative value.
Well, Cowboys are going to have to pay some of his salary wherever he goes.
He's got so much mileage on him, and you can draft running back in the 3rd that's better than Zeke right now.
Man, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think Zeke's still elite. I just don't. I think the system does not fit what he does. I think you put him in a run-first offense, I still think he's a dominant guy.
Could be.
That running out of the shotgun kills him. He just does. I mean, he's a decent pass receiver, but Pollard's a lot better at getting out in the open field and catching the ball. Pollard just fits the system a lot better.
I saw where what's a Texas quarterback's name? It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Henry?
Brayson
McHenry. I saw he was at Dak's camp, or he was at some camp where Dak was there. Assuming Dak doesn't go to other people's quarterback camps. Has his own, I'm assuming.
That went a lot better than Cam's camp. I don't know if you watched that or not.
Those kids were heckling him?
Oh, yeah.
Dogging him out.
His own, yeah.
His own
Cam Newton. Yeah, I saw that. What's wrong with that kid?
Man, that's horrible.
I'm going to slap that kid across the head.
The thing about Cam is he worked really hard in the offseason. If that was my kid, well, I would lose it, man.
Cam, see if you can find that clip on YouTube.
Yeah, he was. Did
I don't know. Is that hard to do?
It's tough to do.
All right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Y'all go to YouTube, figure it out. But long story short, this kid is saying Cam Newton's trash.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton is responding with, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich.
Well,
and then
because the kids started saying, you're a free agent, you're going to be poor. That's what he said.
I don't think kids have like an understanding of how much money $25 million a year is.
It's a lot.
And like Cam's made that forever. At least, right? I could be wrong, but I mean,
he's got to.
I don't think they understand how much money that is.
I think Cam's been a very great player in this league. I do think that I think he might be done. I think that shoulder's bad. I've watched him, and he has issues releasing it now. The only thing I ever could say down to about Cam is during the Super Bowl when there was a fumble he literally nearly jumped out of the way.
I mean, it's a business decision, Tony.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl, man. It's a Super Bowl.
I mean, it ain't his job to roll on the ground.
Yeah, that's a Super Bowl.
Deion said it wasn't his job to tackle.
Yeah. Well, I bet Deion would tackle in the Super Bowl, I promise you.
If Cam couldn't succeed in an offense built for short, quick passes in New England, he can't. It's probably over.
I think so. I think so. And I'm a Cam fan.
Me too, yeah. But the NFL's moved away.
Let's do this. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we will be right back. We'll take you to 5:50, and then we will come on with Lacey Middlebrooks, head coach of Liberty Eylau softball.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in our community support, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brian Bolt in Texarkana.
All right, we are back. Before we bring the Liberty Eylau players on, y'all were at the game last night?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. I mean, for the first baseball game that we've broadcast this season, it was a pitcher's duel. Both pitchers went all 7 innings.
They did.
And, I mean, it was a great matchup.
And the runs were scored with small ball. That was the only way to get across the plate.
Which Frank does not like.
Not a small ball.
Bunting, stuff like that.
Okay, I got you.
Strategic.
I love small ball.
Strategic baseball.
You have to, though.
That's like a quarterback sneak on the 50-yard line.
Well, I mean,
shouldn't do it.
If it's 4th and inches, I mean, come on. Let's run the old fade on 4th and inches.
I do got to give Brian a shout out. He did 2 really good interviews.
He did.
They're a lot better than the ones that I did the other night.
He set the bar really low with the first 2.
Well, I told Frank, I said, hey, believe me, I've learned my lesson. I know how to make them better now. So,
no, I was telling Brian, and even on the broadcast over the course of the season, you'll hear me talk about it. I'm not a big fan of the stolen base and the bunt. And last night we saw it, Brian. He tried to take an extra base, got thrown out. The next batter ropes a double, and they don't score, and they lose by 1.
Yeah.
That happened.
It did.
Anyway, moving past that, I'm a long ball guy.
Yeah, man. Usually, if you get thrown out trying to steal second, it's usually your fault though, because you're reading that pitcher. It's not that hard to do.
And there was no long ball last night. Yeah. That field is huge, a huge headwind. It just wasn't happening. So they had to.
I think it's like right at near 400 center.
340 to the lines and 380 to center.
I think it's the biggest field in the district, if I'm not mistaken.
Tony, how's your team doing?
Well, we started the week last week pretty rough. We competed in every game. We jumped up a classification, and I've got a great group of boys. We actually went 0-3, but we played some of the best teams in the nation. I mean, actually, the number 1 team in the nation is one of the teams we played, and we stayed with all 3 teams. Now, we barely lost to 3 teams and had our worst hitting weekend we ever hit, ever, and I've ever coached. We had 7 hits in 3 games. I don't know if we've ever had less than 5 hits in a game before. We had 7 in 3 games, and we didn't really see any pitching that we don't normally see.
Yeah.
So if it was a regular weekend, where we're playing our ball, we win all 3 of them games. So I'm actually
What do they call those things when you don't win? A moral victory? Mm-hmm. I never thought I'd hear Tony talking about he had 3 moral victories this weekend.
I saw some Facebook posts about the coaching. These coaches.
I don't consider it a moral victory, but I'm not, I can get bent out of shape. And watching them games, we had pitched great and played decent defense. I think considering even though we went 0-3, we definitely belong there. And my teams, and you can ask anybody here, my teams from the first of the season to the end of the season, completely different teams.
And that's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
If you're getting better and learning, that's that's the key.
And we'll be them when we go play them teams the second time. Say it's 2 months from now, they're going to be in trouble. I promise you.
What's up, Jay? What's been going on in your world? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
Just been doing a lot of work.
We thought you were retired.
I can tell.
And outside of that, matter of fact, I was not able to go home today during lunch and grab a shirt or
looks
go.
Busy. He's wearing a button down.
You know how you know when you're being paid too much.
So
when you wear basically, he's dressed up, right? We can all agree on that. When you dress up like this and don't wear a tie, that's how you know you made it.
That's when you know you're special.
You know, everywhere I work, you gonna wear a button? No, you gotta wear a tie.
He took it. He took it off. He didn't want to be too dressed.
You know who didn't wear a tie? The dude at the top.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
The guy deciding who gets to wear ties.
Yeah. You know what? Y'all look a little rough. Y'all wear ties.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I did sprinkle in going and watching Pleasant Grove play about a week ago, and excited to see what they're going to bring to the table this year.
They jumped up to number 3 in the state. Yeah,
they're ranked number 3 right now. I think that may be a little gracious. I think that out of all the areas that they're going to have to work on, the pitching side of it, by the time that we get into the playoffs,
I will say
we definitely need to see that.
I will say this: I feel we're better now than we were 2 weeks ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Though. I mean, because I thought we started off a little shaky, and right now they look like they're hitting their stride. I think they've improved tremendously in a short period of time.
Who was the kid last night that dealt 5 innings, 11 strikeouts?
Who was it?
Bellotti?
No,
Who are you talking about?
PG.
Is that his name?
He did deal last night.
I remember that guy.
He dealt.
Bellotti did a lot last night.
His interview was so long, I had to buy extra time on Instagram.
But I think their bats are going to be dependable all season long. I just think that pitching right now, getting deep into a game, I'm not seeing that strength that Pleasant Grove's had in recent years, and maybe I'm missing something. But I do think that they'll get there. But I am excited to see. I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to put out there. I'm excited to see what Liberty Eylau is going to be able to put out there in Texas High. I really haven't paid much attention to what Arkansas High is bringing to the table this year, but I mean, Texas High is going to have a good year.
Yeah, PG is going to play LE 3 times this year, and our goal is to be there for all 3. It's supposed to be really good baseball games.
Well, I'll tell you this: Liberty Eylau
I'll be the judge.
came a long way in the last 3 years. I mean, they're playing good baseball. They were playing really good baseball last year before COVID hit.
That really hurt PG and LE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were playing great last year, and right now they're playing really good baseball.
Well, and let me just say this before they get up here, because I don't want to say this while they're up here, but I've seen Arkansas High, Texas High, and LE play so far. I haven't seen PG, but LE looks really good. I don't know anything about their baseball history, how they've been in the past, but
they've won some state championships.
And I'm not saying anything about the other teams, but I
believe Trey Carson led the state in hitting his senior year there.
I was about to make a trade joke.
I bet we can find a clip about that somewhere.
I will tell y'all.
Trust me, Trey's got it. If he did it, somehow this kid has every kid. He's a grown man. He has every video he's ever.
I'm the first person he's going to see in the morning. So I'm hoping he didn't watch this.
The coach that's about to come up here won a state championship with Will. So they went back to back. They lost one of them and won one of them. So they've got some history.
Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah, let's take a quick break. We will come back with Liberty Eylau softball, Brian.
Yeah.
Head coach Lacey Middlebrooks.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition live here at Walk-Ons. We're joined now by Liberty Eylau head coach, Coach Middlebrooks, and also the shortstop, a senior, Leah Walker. Ladies, welcome to the show tonight.
Hey, thank you for having us.
So, Coach, just to start off a little bit, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and kind of how long you've been here, or any past coaching jobs that you have. Just tell everybody a little rundown on you.
I'm actually from here, Texarkana. I went to Liberty Eylau, graduated in 2009, went on to play at the University of Minnesota, and then the University of Tulsa. Went on to coach college softball for 5 years, and then made the transition to high school softball. Went to Pittsburgh and coached a year, and this is my second year here at Liberty Eylau.
I got a question though. Didn't Tulsa put you in their Hall of Fame or something?
I made the
first team.
I made the all-time team this year as the DP.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. So we've got a Hall of Famer with us tonight.
I wouldn't say that.
Morgan claims he is.
I had absolutely no clue. I mean, I thought with Tony here we had, a local legend, but I mean, we've got a Hall of Famer with us. So, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. It's a great honor.
Her whole family legend, though. Her dad's a great baseball coach. He coached at LE forever. I've been watching Lacey since she was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've seen her pitch many times in high school, and that tells you how old I am. But now she's coaching.
Yeah. So, but it's nice to be back.
I got you. I got you. And so what's your record on the year? How many games have you played?
We have played at 7. We've played about a total of 10, 11 games. Some of them have been 3-inning ball games due to time limits and weather. 1-4, 1-5. Okay. Now we've played some great close ball games, and that's what we've talked about right now. The importance of preseason or pre-district is sharpening up, finessing some skills, and prepping for district. District is the most important thing right now. So that's we'd like to break the season down. Not make everything so important. Take a game at a time, and not record's important, but not hold on to that and make it so big for us.
Yeah, and record ain't real important till you hit district.
Not till you hit district, and so that's why we're not trying to make it too big to where it's too much weight on our shoulders, but understanding that we've got to take lessons from each game, and adjust as we move forward.
Yeah, and as a coach, it's a little easier to see that, end goal that you kind of want to peak at the right time.
Right.
And for your players, you get a couple losses under your belt at the first of the season. As we're sitting here talking, and you said, there were close games, and so as even though you don't get a win on the scoreboard, you see that as building momentum heading toward district, and that's what you want is to build the momentum and peak at the right time.
Right.
So it's hard to keep some of your players at times confident about that, but we watched your game. We broadcast the baseball game last night, but I went back and watched y'all's game, and your girls do a really good job of keeping the morale up, I guess.
Thank you. They do, and that's what we've talked about is, we want to win. We don't want to be content with losing, but we want to be able to win moments. And so, which for us is win little things that we've been working on, win the inning, and be able to walk away knowing that we've progressed that game and we're moving forward toward our goal. So.
Lacey, I know when you keep them close 4 or 5 games in a row like you have, it don't take much for it to click.
No.
You come out with a big hit, win 1 or 2 games in a row, and it just snowballs.
Yeah, and I think last night showed that. Texas High is a great team, and we try not to look backward, but we referred to the scrimmage early on, and it was there was a lot more Texas High offense versus our offense, and we came out last night a lot different, but we're swinging the bat well. We're playing defense well. I think we're really starting to click at the right time.
You're close.
Yeah, we are, and I think the girls are starting to see that and believe it as well. Which when they get that, it can roll.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to watching it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Leah Walker, your senior shortstop, with us tonight.
Yes, sir.
So, coming off of last year, and we've asked everybody so far this season that we've had on the show, but you being a senior this year, how does it feel seeing what happened last year with the season getting cut short and things like that, with you being a junior, knowing that you get to come into your senior year? But how does that feel as a senior now, looking back on that?
I felt for the seniors last year since they didn't get to have the year that they wanted. And with that time off, it just gave us more time to work and get harder for us to come back harder this year and just put all the hard work that we put out there to on the field this year.
How long have you been playing shortstop?
Actually, this year is my first year to play shortstop.
In what position did you play before that?
I played second base.
Second base?
Yes, sir.
The shortstop position, to me, minus the pitcher position, just impresses me the most in women's softball. The range that you have to have at the shortstop position. What type of changes have you had to do for yourself to make that transition?
I feel like the most thing that I've had to change by myself is just being like more like on top of the ball. Like I have to be ready, like move on my feet faster and charge the ball faster, just faster with everything.
Do you see a difference between whipping the ball over to first from shortstop than you do second base?
Yes, sir.
It's a totally different angle.
Totally different. And it's funny you asked that because when I first told her, she just looked at me like, no. I said, you can do it, And I try to make it seem easier than it is. I said, you're a middle infielder. You can do this, and but she's embraced it, and that's the biggest thing was embrace it. You can do it, and then she's taken the role and really led the defense and led the infield well,
Yeah, well, good.
I could tell you she was sitting there hoping we didn't ask her a question. So, but when
I told her they were going to ask about that, actually.
She was right on top of it, so that's the same principle.
Yeah. She's been looking me dead in my eyes. And every time I'd look back at her, she'd look away from me. So I knew that. Well, Coach, do y'all have any more games coming up this week or next week? What do you have coming up in the future?
We do. We host James Bowie on Friday, just varsity only. Then we're off next Tuesday and start district at Pittsburgh the 19th.
Okay.
So it's close, and I think we're all pretty excited. We're ready. Like I said, I think we're all starting to feel real confident and ready to get going with the next that round of district, and really see where we're at.
Absolutely. So, Leah, have you decided where you want to go to school yet?
Actually, I want to go to TC for my first year and just get my basics done. And then after that, I'm going to go to Tyler Junior College and just become a dental hygienist.
Okay. Well, big plans there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad plan. You can save a lot of money going to TC.
Yeah.
And then graduate where you want to.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we wish you nothing but the best for the upcoming season. Leah, we hope your senior year is more than you ever wished it was, and we hope both of y'all as much success for Liberty Eylau softball as we can bring. So we're going to go to a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to have Coach back on with us, and then we're going to have two more softball players join us after these commercials. All right, welcome back to Walk-Ons tonight. Tonight we're taken over by Liberty Eylau, and right now we're joined by the softball team. We've got head coach, Coach Middlebrooks here, and then we've also been joined by Leah Walker earlier, but right now we've got Shelby Ryther, who is a senior pitcher for Liberty Eylau, and then Talia Jones, who is the center field junior. Ladies, welcome to the table.
Hello.
Thank you.
So let's start with Shelby. Shelby, you're a senior pitcher.
Yes.
Tell us kind of how it feels going into this season. It's your senior year. Do you play any other positions besides pitcher?
I play first sometimes. I think I'm getting into second, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
So are you the pitcher?
Me and Caitlin pretty much take turns every other game.
Okay. Because, last week we had somebody come on here and they said, what position do you play? And they said, I'm the shortstop. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, yes, you are.
Yeah.
And so, as long as we know that you are the pitcher, we won't tell anybody. But good. And Talia, you're the center fielder, and you're a junior this year, so you've got another year coming.
You must be able to run a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's fast.
So in softball, correct me if I'm wrong, is it called a drag bunt? Where you run out of the box, and what's it called? When you run out of the box and you bunt it at the same time. Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so do you ever do that?
Sometimes.
Because I've always seen the fast people, that's kind of what they have them do, so they can kind of get that head start.
Yeah.
In baseball, they don't do that. So, the slow guys, they just have to bunt it and then take off. You girls have it figured out. The guys have not figured it out yet.
The women always have things figured
That's
out.
That's right. And the evolution of guys playing baseball is not actually how the arm is supposed to work.
Right.
So you girls have it figured out. And us guys, I'm not going to say us guys, but those guys, they're just behind times. And so, Shelby, so your senior year coming up. We talked to one of the other players earlier, Leah, and we asked her how it felt with her senior year coming up with COVID behind you last year in your junior year. So how does it feel this year that after you've seen COVID coming into this season? Are you praying that everything doesn't get shut down again, or kind of how does it feel?
Yes, it was pretty scary at the beginning. We didn't know if we were going to play or not. It was still up in the air. But I think we're all thankful we can come back and get out and play this time.
Yeah.
That's got to be a relief.
Yes, it is.
Just knowing you can get out and be normal.
Yeah.
Man, I was about to go out, I stayed out the whole time, but going home, they weren't nowhere to go eat. They couldn't do nothing. That was.
It was insane. And to think, we didn't play last year's Texas High game at Texas because that's when we got shut down. So last night's game was, it was crazy to think that that was the last, that was the last thing. So.
Absolutely. And so where do you have plans on going to college? Do you have any plans yet?
I think I'm going to TC and then transferring to A&M later.
I want to know, has your coach put this plan into effect for y'all? Because that was the same question we got last. Wasn't the same schools, but it was a great plan.
Well, I think it's just closer for everyone to go here. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's just more convenient for everybody.
Smart plan, absolutely.
That's the reason I just brought my son home.
Yeah.
It was cheaper and didn't know about the COVID situation.
Yeah.
If he's not going to sit up there and not play baseball, I wasn't going to fly him back and forth.
Right.
Absolutely. And Talia, even though you're a junior, do you know where you want to go to school yet?
I'm still undecided at the moment.
Well, good. Stay undecided as long as you can. There's no reason to rush it.
None.
So whenever you get a senior, you're going to wish, man, I wish I could go back to my junior year. And so tell us a little bit about the season so far. We've talked to your coach, but tell us from a player's perspective.
I can personally see the change in every player, how much we've came so far. We're each loving the game more and more. And it's just so much fun this year.
Yeah. And same thing for you, Talia. How is it on your end?
Well, first, it was a little rocky, but as we get more and more games, it's getting more better, and we're growing more together as a team, and the energy is just building, and we're building off of each other.
Yeah, and Coach will tell you, it doesn't matter how much you practice. You can never simulate an actual game, no matter how much you try. And you girls, getting more games under your belt, that's just going to make you closer and better and stronger as a team. And so, like we talked about earlier, I went back and watched you guys play last night and saw a lot of improvement from the games that we've seen before, and played well. And so,
Lacey, how many seniors do y'all have?
We have 3.
3?
Yep. 3 seniors.
So y'all got a lot to look forward to.
3 seniors, and we started 4 freshmen last night.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're young, but it's a.
I knew you was young before you told me.
Yep.
I mean, if they're getting better like that and you're keeping the games close, that tells me you're young.
It's it's about development, and even for the seniors, we've talked about that. Development doesn't stop just because you're a senior,
Absolutely.
and it's very important to maintain that and be able to create that mindset, and so. We're trying to develop that now so that we can lay that foundation and continue to grow the program.
Yeah. Talia, so looking back, you're a junior. You still have another year, hopefully, the rest of this year and then another one. But looking back from playing, did you play softball as a young girl as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so looking back on softball, what's your favorite thing about growing up playing softball? What's your favorite thing about the game?
Everything. There's nothing I can say bad about it.
Yeah.
I just enjoy every moment I get to go out there and play and just get better every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Shelby, if you can think back on one moment, and I know this is a big broad question, but if you could think about one moment, because you're a senior, you're about to graduate, what's the one moment that stuck out in your head playing, let's just say, I'll narrow it down, playing high school softball?
I think the relationship in the locker room and on the buses. I mean, we're sitting there getting dressed, playing games, singing songs on the bus. I think that bond just really, it just does it.
That is completely opposite of a boy's answer on this.
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
A boy's
That's
guy
awesome,
would be, well, this time when I hit this kid and he acted like he wanted to fight, and I told him, come on, and that would be a guy's
It is
answer.
opposite.
Singing on the bus.
Singing.
That's a great answer, though.
The girls are just soaking it in, and that's why they say they're so much smarter than what we are.
Yes.
But yeah, those things you'll remember forever. And us guys, we remember that 10 years later. But it's good that you see those things now with your teammates and stuff.
And I'll tell you what, guys, and I know y'all are young, but when y'all get 30s, 40s, you will look back, and this is going to be enjoy it, because this is going to be the funnest time of your life.
Definitely.
You're going to get aggravated, but like, oh, this ain't no fun every once in a while.
Yeah.
But then when you get older, you're going to be like, man, I wish I was still playing softball.
You miss it. Totally. Totally.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, we appreciate you joining us tonight. It was an honor to have you coach and all 3 of your players. And we look forward to coming out and broadcasting some of your games here the rest of the season. And so make sure you get you some of the softball keychains before you leave. Tell all of the other players that we wish we could have had them on, but we only have so much time and so much space. But ladies, we appreciate you for coming on, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I have no doubt that it's going to continue to improve as the year goes on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a short break here, and then we'll be back at Walk-Ons Live tonight, and we'll be with Liberty Eylau Baseball here in just a minute.
Right now at all Greg Orr Auto Collection locations in Texarkana. Shop from your phone, online, or in person, and make no payments up to 120 days with record low interest rates, drastic price reductions, and huge incentives on our vast and pristine selection. Plus, for sales or service, we will even pick up and deliver your vehicle to you. For all the money-saving details, please visit GregOrAuto.com. That's GregOrAuto.com.
Welcome back here to Walk-Ons Live tonight for our Wednesday edition. We're taken over by the baseball team from Liberty Eylau right now. We've got head coach Zach Fowler with us and pitcher Gage Bellotti. Guys, welcome to the show tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us. It's a joy to be here. Awesome atmosphere. We're excited.
And so, Coach, let's just start with you for a second.
I'm going to stop you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not just pitcher. I've seen some box scores. He can hit.
Oh, he can hit too. Yes, sir. He sure can.
Yes. Sorry about that. Just to clear that up.
I had to clear my throat there. We're gonna. I called him a pitcher because of what I saw.
Oh yes, he was dealing last night.
Yeah, absolutely. But Coach, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you come from, your past, if you've had any coaching jobs before now, or just give everybody a rundown of who you are.
I'm from Liberty Eylau, so I grew up there. My dad was actually the head coach out there for, I think, 27 years. So I played for him. We won a state championship in 06. 07, we went back to the state finals and lost in the final game. But great experience. Had an awesome time. Went to college at Texas Tech after going to Texarkana College, JUCO route. And then after Texas Tech, got drafted by the Orioles, spent 4 years playing pro ball. And then, I always wanted to come back and coach at my alma mater, and I've been there ever since. So as soon as I got released, jumped on at LE and assistant coach for 2 years and took over the program. And this is year 5 since then. So.
Year 5.
I tell you what a small world it was. His good friend and teammate Will got us on the field at Red Sox Stadium, and we went up there and we were taking pictures with a bunch of the players, and Eddie Rodriguez, I think's his name, came up and took pictures with Eduardo, took pictures with us, and I posted it on Facebook. And Zach here says, "Tell Eddie I said hi. I used to play baseball with him." I'm on the Red Sox field, and I was like, "For real?" And I told Eddie that, and he's like, "Oh man, I said, "How do you know Zach?" I said, "That's my son's baseball coach." He said, "Are you serious?"
Eddie's fun, man.
He went out of his way to come talk to us and sign stuff. He's a really nice guy.
Really good kid, yeah.
Yeah. And so, Coach, already 7 wins on the season. Last night, a pretty impressive win. Frank and I were there, and this guy sitting beside you put on a pretty good performance.
He stole the show last night, man. There was nothing else to say. When somebody goes out there and puts up numbers like he did on the mound, I mean, all you got to do is make a few plays behind him, and we did it last night. So we were, 1 or 2 plays better than them, and that's what was the difference.
Absolutely. And you say he stole the show after the game. I got an interview with him, and he really didn't know what to say. I mean, how did you do it, or what helped you to do it? And basically, he just wanted to say, I'm the man.
He was.
I just went out there and just did it. That's what he wanted to say, but he didn't want to do that on camera. So he come up with this reason of how he meditates and sings Kumbaya and stuff like that. But it is what it is. So sometimes you just have to tell the truth. I'm the guy. And I went out there and just did that, So you have to work with him on his interviews.
Is that how it went?
He's very humble. Very humble.
Yeah,
a lot more humble than I was.
I got to go back and watch that.
Absolutely. No, he gave me this 30-second interview of how he just calmly prepared for the game and everything. After the performance he had last night, I would have been like, I didn't do anything. I just went out on the mound and shoved it down their throat,
And he's not lying.
But he didn't.
His preparation is unmatched. That's what he does. He's never up and down. He's always even keel, and it showed on the field last night.
So I've got 2 questions for Gage. The first is a more fun-loving question. Have you hit a ball into the trees in right field yet?
Not this year, but I have in the past. Several times.
That's a big old field, too.
Yeah. And last night, I believe it was the 6th, the top of the 6th. You weren't necessarily struggling, but things were starting to get tough. What was going through your mind, and how do you personally psych yourself up and say, hey, let's focus on the guy at the plate and let's get out of this jam?
Wow, that's a good question. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was struggling, but the game did get tense. We got the bases. Bases were almost juiced a few times.
I think we had first and second, no out. It's a jam.
Yes,
it was a jam.
Yes, definitely not a situation you want to be in.
I was stressing.
Yeah. But I think the biggest thing for me as a pitcher, I've learned to do this over the years, is just to have a strong poker face. You just to not show any emotions, because that's how rallies start. That's how games turn around, is when people have a sense of oh, we got this, we can come back. And I've done that myself a few times. And I think The best way to combat that is just to stay cool and just to do a job, which is that's what I've been doing. Doing a job any way I can.
Doing it well, yeah.
On what you're saying, I tell all my young guys that I coach, the worst thing you can do for the other team is give them hope. And that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and as a coach and even a fan or a spectator, I mean, such respect from someone like us watching you last night with such composure and respect for the game that you just stay out there and battle and get yourself out of jams. And even when things didn't necessarily go your way, you keep your composure and you just fight through it. And he and I talked. I mean, is this the last inning we're going to see him? Is he going? He's struggling a little bit, and then all of a sudden here you come and you pound the fastball right back in there, and here you are back out there another inning. And that goes a lot to say about your coach. I mean, having the confidence to put you back out there and go the full stretch there. And so congratulations on that, by the way.
I believe I saw 15-ish curveballs from you last night. Did I see a changeup late?
Yes, I
thought
did.
I thought I caught two at the end of the game there.
I threw a few of my changeups. More curveballs than anything else. But yes, I did try to throw a few off speed just to trip them up, which is one of the biggest things I did in that 6th inning when.
That's exactly when I thought I saw a couple change-ups.
Yes.
I don't know. I couldn't tell how effective they were, but it was clearly something off speed, and it wasn't breaking like a curveball.
The 3-2 strikeout in the 6th was a change-up. The last out was a change-up.
Yes. Tried to do anything I could to keep it from getting off.
I actually mentioned that on the broadcast. If you haven't seen that all game and you're looking fastball 3-2 because he can't walk you here, there's no way to hit that pitch. No.
Yep.
Well done.
Good changeup's best way of hitting a double play too. You drive them in the ground.
Absolutely. Well, look, we've enjoyed our time with Gage Bellotti. We've got 2 more guys we're going to bring up here in a moment. Gage, you did such a good job pitching last night, and if anybody wants to go back and watch that game, you can find it on Texarkana Gameday's Facebook page. Gage, we appreciate you for joining us. Well, we're going to get you off of here in just a second, and we're going to get 2 more guys on here before we run out of time. Is there anything you want to say before you get off of here?
I think that's about it. All right, thank you.
I thought I'd put him on the spot like I did last night.
He's good at this.
That's right. Exactly.
Really good at this.
I mean, dude, he just keeps his composure. You can't trip him up. I tried last night, and he just gave me the smooth, cool guy answer.
Unflappable.
So, that's right. That's right. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with more LE baseball. Welcome back to our Wednesday night edition of Texarkana Game Day. We're taken over tonight by the Liberty Eylau Leopards. We're joined now by head coach Zach Fowler from the baseball team along with Colby Brooks and Nate Moore. Guys, welcome to the table tonight.
Thank you for having us.
That's your cue. If we say something like that, just say, yeah, they appreciate it. All right. And so we've got two guys up here. One, Colby, he DH'd in the game last night, but he also plays catcher. And then we've got Nate Moore, who was the shortstop last night. You play any other positions?
I do a little bit of pitching also.
A little bit of pitching, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, guys, a big win last night. First district win of the season. So you're 1-0. And 7th win of the season. And so let's jump into that and talk about that a little bit. Nate, tell us how you felt about the game last night and maybe kind of how you felt like your team did coming out with the win.
Yes, sir. We got off to a really slow start. We didn't really hit the ball too good during the whole game, but, we've been getting back to it at practice today, so it'll be different next time. So.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And Colby, you hit last night.
Yes, sir.
And so how did it feel knowing that, the game was kind of slow at the beginning, not a lot of runs scored, no home runs hit or anything like that? How did it feel as a DH knowing that was your job?
I don't want to say it's a lot of pressure because it's usually not, but last night it was a really big team win. That guy was grinding out at bats. There was like a 10-pitch at bat, I think, in the first inning that extended it.
Yeah.
And I think eventually we found our groove and started hitting the ball.
Yeah. And last night y'all faced, I just looked back, and Tyler Watkins. And, man, it was a pitcher's duel last night. He did a great job. So it was absolutely nothing against your hitting. You were facing an outstanding pitcher from Gilmer. And so that didn't help at all. It looked like both teams had their
what was the score, 2-1?
Yeah,
2-1 ball game.
Absolutely. And
a good performance by Lobo, my boy Lobo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shut him down.
Absolutely. We just had him on here, and he pitched well last night. And so, Nate, what year are you in high school?
I'm a senior this year.
You're a senior this year. And then, Colby, what about you?
I'm a senior.
Both of you are seniors,
Yes,
okay?
sir.
All right. Well, Nate.
Yes, sir.
The big loaded question. How's it feel to be a senior?
It's like you still want to keep on playing baseball, but you get to live your life and keep on trying to play baseball at the next level maybe, and try your hardest every day, keep on growing not only as a baseball player, as a person.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So one more loaded question for you. What are your plans after high school? Do you have any yet?
Not at the moment, but try to go play baseball somewhere.
I got
Continue.
you.
Just a little story about Nate is I'm real good friends with his dad. I probably don't tell too many people that. But
now, will he say that, or do you just?
Well, he would tell you something I can't say on here. But anyway, I've been watching Nate play and coaching him off and on most of his life. And one thing I can give a huge kudos to Coach here is, and I'm just being honest with you, Nate, and I've told you this before, I didn't see Nate as a pitcher, okay? I mean, I coached him most of his life, and he's been working with Zach a lot, and this past summer come by, and, my son played for the Bulldogs, which won state. We weren't a bad team. We were a very good team. And we're out there. I show up probably the third inning. It's like we're down like 2-0. And there's this little guy out there just humming it. I didn't know it was him the first few innings, and he was just humming it, and he was K-ing us over and over and over. And about 2 innings into it, I was like, oh my God, that's Nate Moore. And he mowed us down the whole game. And where he started out pitching, when he first started out, he just kind of lofted it in there. Man, that game right there, I don't know how fast he was throwing it, but his off speed was nasty, and he was throwing the ball for his size. He was humming it. I called him to the side after the game and said, man, that was nice,
Absolutely. Well, it's hard not to listen to a guy when you got a major league arm over here.
Oh, yeah.
And
they try not to listen.
I hear you. Well, Colby, you said you're a senior as well.
Yes,
is that
sir.
right? And so tell us, how does it feel for you to be a senior? I mean,
it's gone by really fast. And I've played with a bunch of the guys on the team for the past 4 years, and we've really grown as a team. Everybody's gotten better since their freshman year, and it's been really fun.
Yeah.
By the way, Kobe's not always been this big. He has grown in the last few years.
Well, Coach, last night broadcasting y'all's games, I mean, when your guys took the field, when they came up to the plate, I told Frank, who was doing the game with me, I was like, man, there's some good-looking kids out here. I mean, I'm new to Texarkana. I've only been here for 2 years. I don't know a lot about all of the baseball programs around here because I coached and played in Arkansas. So I know about Arkansas High. And
so he knows a little about baseball, not a whole lot.
hey, look, Texas may have us on football, but Arkansas's got some baseball, okay?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we'll make sure we get Morgan Smith up here to talk about the #1 college team in the nation, but we'll leave that for a little while later.
It is Morgan's favorite sport.
Does he want to come up here and talk right now? But, no, he absolutely hates baseball. So nothing against y'all, just the sport.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, it does go by fast. I mean, it seems like all of us could probably say. I mean, your sophomore and junior year, it seems like they drag on, and man, you're just so ready to be grown up, and then your senior year just goes by. So take it all in and make sure you enjoy all of it because so far 7 wins. And an impressive win last night that we watched. Y'all got a pretty good team. So,
well, in the last 30 days or so, Kobe, didn't you sign to play somewhere?
Culver Stockton College in Canton, Missouri, I think.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And so let me ask you, Coach, do you throw BP?
I do throw some BP. We actually do a lot of machine work though. So,
I got you.
I can't throw it as hard as I used to. So
well, I mean,
we'll crank it up every now and then.
It only works so much.
He played the Legends game out there and was pitching against the kids, and he cut them no slack. It was like a dad pitching to his kids. Okay.
I turned it back on for a day. Haven't done it since. So,
Did you hit the first batter?
No, I struck Colby out and said, "Get off my field."
He yelled at me while I was walking off the field. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if I could throw that fast or that hard, I would too, and I'd probably say a little more to you, but I can't. If I got up there and threw to y'all would all get a hit off of me.
Zach, I heard from several people you were one of them kids that developed. I heard in your younger days.
When I was younger, it was one of those deals where I was smaller, undersized, and then as I got older, it just kind of all came together. And
I had several people said they never thought you'd be what you
yeah, no doubt. And people just don't let I was around a lot of good teammates that also pushed, so it was awesome.
That really shows you can't count anybody out. You don't know how no one's going to develop, how they're going to grow, man. You made it further than 99.9% of people do. So
absolutely. Well, guys, you look good last night, Coach. What's the next game you got coming up, and where are you going?
We're rolling down to Hallsville tomorrow. We got Sulphur Springs, who's coming off a big district win against Longview. So we're looking to kind of upset the Sulphur Springs Wildcats tomorrow morning. Our eyes are pointed towards this weekend, and it's a good opportunity without district games to kind of get a look at some guys that we haven't seen yet. So and haven't got as many at bats. So it's going to be a good weekend for baseball, and we expect to win all those games still. So
I got you.
We're excited.
I got you. Okay. Well, Coach, look, we appreciate having you. I know we're running out of time and all, but we appreciate having both of you guys on here. Colby Brooks, the catcher/DH, and Nate Moore, who is the shortstop. And so we appreciate having both of you, both seniors. We hope that you have a great senior year, and we'll be back out to do some more of y'all's games. And if you want to go back and watch yourself, we've got y'all on Facebook on Texarkana Gameday. And so we wish you nothing but the best for your senior year, and Coach, for the rest of the season. And we'll see you at another game out at Liberty Island.
Guys, I'm excited to watch how y'all season turned out. I thought last year y'all really gained some steam, and I thought y'all were playing great baseball before it got cut off. So I think y'all got a chance to really make a run at it this year.
We hope so. And hey, we appreciate y'all covering and everything. It's awesome to see baseball get this much publicity around here, especially how much talents came through and how much of a baseball crazy place this is. So it's awesome to see y'all covering it, man. We appreciate it so much.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all, and we appreciate you for putting on such a good show last night. Before you came on, when it was just us guys up here talking, I talked about, me not being from here and not knowing much about, Liberty Eylau baseball or Liberty Eylau as a school, period. And just going out and watching the game last night, I was very impressed with what you've done. And I can't say this about every team, but I can about yours. The composure and the maturity and the way that your kids acted during the game and before and after the game. A lot of credit goes to you and, of course, their parents and them as well. But guys, be proud of what you're doing, and you looked really good last night on and off the field. So,
well, me talking to you about a coach, Zach. To me, the players that you've had some of the longest have really developed their arms, man. And to me, that's what you've done the best as a coach. For me, it's fun to watch some kids that didn't pitch much. I go watch them now, and they're pretty dang good ball players.
We appreciate it, and they put the work in is the biggest thing. So that's number one.
Yep. And so, Coach, we appreciate you. We'll be out soon to cover another game. Guys, good luck in the rest of the season. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with Morgan Smith, Mr. Game Day, after this commercial break. Welcome back to our Wednesday edition, live here with Texarkana Game Day. We're at Walk-Ons tonight, and we're joined for our last segment with Lexi Snyder.
And we should have started about 45 seconds ago.
That's right.
We already had some great discussion.
We did.
Absolutely. If you could have heard us, you might not want
This is Babe Ruth sitting next to me right here.
Absolutely. So let me tell you a little bit about Lexi. 4 home runs. 2 of them were back-to-back. 1 grand slam, and 1 was a 3-run homer.
And that ain't even the impressive
That was in
part.
one tournament, right?
And that was in a short amount of time.
Hey,
and so
we can talk about her hitting all I want to, but when you pitch a no-hitter in a perfect game back-to-back.
On top of that.
On top of that. That is insane.
And look, Lexi, I don't want to build you up in case it doesn't happen, but if you're not an all-state softball player in the state of Texas, I don't know who is.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and give you the state recognition already.
That has to be the best weekend I've ever heard of.
Absolutely.
We posted it.
So how has your season been going?
Really good. Really good.
Hey, we posted videos of those home runs, and they weren't wall scrapers. They were bombs, Lexi. You have exit velocities for those.
And she's not just a big, tall girl. You're just in normal size. You're out there hitting bombs like that. Is awesome.
How are you doing it? Are you ahead in the count? Are you first pitch?
She's got to have some serious bat speed.
I normally hit the first pitch all the time. When I played it against Atlanta, I hit it off the scoreboard the first at bat.
This is true. The guy, whoever recorded these and sent them in, we had to cut the audio. He was shocked. He said some words that we can't air.
Hey, well, look, if you ever have a chance to hit it off someone's scoreboard, that's the most disrespect you can give them, especially if you knock some lights out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could do a cartwheel around the bases. That would be more disrespectful, but probably get you on game day for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what do you prefer to do? Do you prefer having the bat in your hand or the ball in your hand?
It just depends on like the game, how it's going. Like if it's a really tough game, I love to pitch them. Like the intensity of it, it's just like awesome, and just being on the field and knowing that your team's gonna back you up and everything, it's just great. But then sometimes, like when my bat's on and my pitching's off, I love to bat. So it's just kind of whatever game I play. It's just
so are you to the point where when you're pitching and maybe just not your best is there, but the coach comes out there, are you to the point where you'd be like, I'm not coming out yet?
In her defense, they're 10 running people. So it's only 2.5 innings, right?
So in her defense, the coach has not been out there yet.
I've got a question, and I think someone mentioned it before we went on air. Did one of y'all say she had 12 RBIs in a game?
In one game. I believe you pitched that game too, or no? Yeah. How'd you do on the mound that day?
That was a hit game that I did a no-hitter.
What? No-hitter and 12 RBIs in
Do y'all
one game.
keep hearing this? Every time she starts to talk, a beeper's going off like something's backing up. I think it's the opponent's outfielder.
I had a fan over here to fan her, you know.
That's a money truck backing up. What that is.
That is awesome.
So are teams starting to maybe pitch around you a little bit?
I don't know. I really don't. Like I haven't played that many games. The last game we played was what was it? Foreman.
They haven't had a chance to pitch
Foreman.
around her yet.
Didn't you steal a few bases too, right?
I think y'all's coach. I think your coach last week downplayed y'all a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
So
we thought they'd be just a little better, but
has the baseball coach reached out to you yet to see if you wanted to come over and play for them?
he talks to me all the time. But
So what do you think? What do you think this matchup would be? You pitching to Tucker and then Tucker pitching to you.
oh boy, I don't know.
I've seen some videos.
I think we could sell some tickets to that.
I know we
Probably.
could.
We
Yeah.
could sell some tickets to that.
We might could work that out.
Well, tell us about your team. We know how awesome you are, right? How is the team playing? Everyone else, how are they backing you up on defense? How are they hitting?
We've had a lot of people step up. Like Addie Kohler has had to come from center to come play short, and she's done a good job there. And Zoe Smith has had to play third, play catcher, and Zoe's done a really good job. Like we work together really well back there. Same with Haley Teague, but she just had a concussion, so Zoe had to play catcher. But I've been doing good, and like with everybody that's hit, like we've been beating teams pretty bad, and everybody's come along with their hitting. Every time, every game, we've adjusted to the pitching, and it's just working out good right now.
it really just sounds like y'all need one RBI though. I mean, that don't matter.
Well, how have you made the adjustment from having the season shut down last year to the excitement that's built up to this year? How have you been able to work through that?
This year we were all ready to play. Like we practice, we've come into practice every day. We're trying to work hard, trying to get better for this season. It sucked when it got shut down. Bree and Presley were like two of my very close friends, and when it got shut down for them, I was so sad, but I was so ready just to get out there. I've been saying that since the start of this year, that I'm just ready to get out there and ready to play.
And so you're doing so well hitting right now. Who taught you how to hit? When did you start really hitting the ball?
I've played softball since I was like 8. I've been playing travel since I don't even know when, just a long time, but I've been going to Tom Middlebrooks, and he's changed my swing from went to nothing to something.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
everybody,
an understatement of the year.
I guess everybody at home, here you go. His phone's going to be ringing off the hook.
We have a logo for it.
That's right. That's right.
Tom's a great hitting coach.
And you're just a junior, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So just a junior. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have you got any offers starting to roll in yet?
I've had 3 SAU, Texarkana A&M, and then Rocky Mountain.
Well, and of course I'm a mule rider, but I'm not going to talk them up because that's
what?
my school. A mule rider.
I
SAU
thought you said
mule.
I'm a millionaire. Like, wait a second.
I wish, but I wouldn't be here if I was a millionaire.
He lives over there with the rich people, though.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. But
over in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
SAU is at least to the top 3 in
They're number one
D2.
in the country.
Are they number 1 right now? And so they fluctuate, but they have been number 1 multiple times over the last 5 years. I mean, what a great D2 softball program. I mean, you can't get better.
They're probably getting their players from Texas.
I don't care where they're getting it from. They're playing with the blue and gold on. So I'm a mule rider. When you're a mule rider, we don't worry about where you're from.
Yeah, absolutely.
SAU, it feels like home.
Well, do you know when
go ahead and sign. Tell Mr. Barry that I hooked you up.
Okay.
Do you know when your next game is?
We have one Friday.
Is it at home?
We play in Athens, 3 hours away.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
was just there doing a basketball game. That's a poke. That's a drive.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
So when does district play?
Not next week, but the next week.
So have you already sort of circled some games on the schedule for district? What team are you looking forward to playing this year?
North Lamar and Gilmer. They're really good. North Lamar has some pitchers that are.
I know a little bit about Gilmer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I went to Gilmer, so. but you would have struck me out too. So.
Hey, well, let me ask you this. I don't think it's illegal to pay high school athletes, but how much would it cost us to pay you to throw to Morgan Smith to see if he could hit
And
one of your
record it.
pitches?
Oh, I'll do it.
I'll double if you hit it.
Yeah.
All right,
that would be a cool video.
I just want to see it.
We've got it on tape, and so we might have to hook that up.
Yeah.
We might have to see if
we can make a donation in her name to somebody.
Absolutely.
So this next game Friday, are you anticipating a 13 RBI game, or do you look at things that way?
I don't.
Do you think you can break that record this year?
It's just kind of a bat. Like, just see where I can go for the next one, because I can't get in my head too much because I'll try to swing for the fences and I'll just miss the pitch. But
And I guess a lot of that depends on your teammates, right? If they're on base for you, you
Swinging
can
for the
drive them in.
fences usually turns into pop-ups. So.
Well, whatever you've been doing, keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're swinging for, keep doing it.
yes, sir.
And so,
anybody you'd like to shout out while you're live here to the world?
Your
teammates, your coach, your parents?
My coach, she's really good. We work together well, and my dad mostly. He's my travel ball coach, and he's helped me through all of it. And Lacey, she's my pitching coach, and she's done really good with me. I've worked with her so well, and yeah.
When you hit a home run, do you know immediately where your dad is? Can you hear him?
Oh yeah.
is that your dad over there?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he just looked over here a minute ago and said he was buying supper, so make sure that you hold him up to that.
For everybody.
Yeah, for everybody.
Oh, I will.
Yeah,
I will.
absolutely. Well, Lexi, look, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. What a great season you've had so far, and we anticipate even more from you. We're looking forward to coming out and doing some games.
Yes, sir.
And so we'll see you very shortly here in the next couple of weeks.
All right.
Lex, it's been real nice. I'm not easily impressed, but listening to your stats this weekend are insane.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep the pressure off of you and just have fun.
I handle some of the graphics for us, and every time a PG box score comes in, you make it easy because I don't have to change the name. She's going on there somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
So keep that up for my sake. We appreciate you being on.
And we hope you have a good rest of the season, and we hope those offers keep rolling in. But make sure that you keep SAU in the back of your mind.
I will.
Number one.
Oh, yeah.
But look, we're going to wrap it up here at Walk-Ons tonight. We appreciate all of the coaches and players that have joined us tonight and each week here on Wednesday. Right now we're in softball and baseball mode, so keep a check on Texarkana Gameday's Facebook page. We'll let you know as soon as we know where we're going to be next for live softball and baseball action. So for all the guys here, and Morgan Smith is already gone, but for him and for Lexi Snyder, we're out until next Wednesday.